Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hari Bol. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Devi ki jai, Shri Gaura Nitai ki jai.
गौर निताय की जय। गौर हरि गौर हरि गौर हरि गौर हरि। Днем рождения! Хорошо.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasaya Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Nityananda, Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda.
Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajapacharya Struttara Shata Shrimad Divine Grace Lacy Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBT founder Acharya His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayom Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajapacharya Struttara Shata Shrimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Mukunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Braj Bhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Jagannathpuri Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Maya Ki Jai. Yamuna Maya Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Yuga Dharma Ki Jai. Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Gaura Purnima Mahamahotsava Ki Jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled God. All glories to the assembled God. All glories to the assembled God. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow down with the lotus feet with faith all assurance. By his grace one can cross the ocean and kill the suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the passion that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, girls after girls. From him ecstatic prema emanates, by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful unto us, and give us the shade of the lotus feet. May your fame be spread all over the world. We take shelter of your lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada. Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. No.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koro More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koro More Toma Pina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare Toma Bina Ke Dayalu Jagata Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Patita Pavana Hetu Tava Avatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napaibe Ara Mosama Patita Haha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Haha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Balo Kanakoro Ami Bodo Duki Kripa Bala Daya Kuru Sitapati Advaita Gosai Daya Kuru Sitapati Tava Kripa Pale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Tava Kripa Haha Svarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Svarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunatha Patayuga Shri Chivaha Prabhu Lokanatha Patayuga Sri Chiva Prabhu Lokanatha Daya Kuru Sri Acharya Prabhu Srinivasa Daya Kuru Sri Acharya Ramachandra Sangamage Narottamo Dasa Ramachandra Sangamage Narottamo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koro More Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Koramore Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jaya Gaurahani Jaya Gaurahani Jaya Gaurahani Jaya Gaurahani Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Go Premanandi Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Sutra Satrishmadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Gaur Premanandi Glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled, all glories to Shishi Guru and Gaurang, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Jnanatimidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Namopistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadhati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. So today we are celebrating Gaura Jayanti, or the Gaur Purnima, the auspicious appearance of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we'll try to glorify the Lord and speak about the Lord appearance, especially his identity and his internal external reasons and the need of taking shelter of a Gaura Priyajana. And I'd like to start with speaking a bit about how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually was predicted in Shastra in many places. Sometimes we are not so much aware, because we do know that, of course, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we have the prediction of Mahaprabhu's appearance. Krishna Vanam Trisha Krishnam Sangupankasha Parshadam Yagahi Sagatam Prayar Ajanti Hisumedashaha in the 11th canto, where it's described that in the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. So that's the indication we find in the Bhagavatam, right? He's not blackish, but still he's Krishna. He's an incarnation of the Lord, and he is chanting constantly the holy names of Krishna. So that's why Mahaprabhu is also known as like a Gupta avatar or a Chanda, like hidden avatar, because in other forms, he comes as the supreme, different Vishnu forms, but here he comes he's a Bhakta Rupa. He's in the Rupa, in a form of a devotee. No? He's hiding his true identity as the Lord, and he plays the role of a devotee. So, and sometimes people may argue, yes, Mahaprabhu, he was a great saint. No, in Bengal, everyone knows. I think in school they also learned about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a great reformer of the bhakti culture. But and then sometimes say, the Hare ISKCON, they put him on the level of God, and they may understand it according to Sakshat Haritvena, like he's like God, as if he's like just, he's a guru, he's an acharya, but they worship him like God. They may see it like that. We also say, this Baba on that side is also an avatar of the Lord. So they say Mahaprabhu. But no, we understand actually that Mahaprabhu, that Gauranga, that golden avatar is actually non-different from the Lord. He is non-different from Krishna. Shri Krishna, Chaitanya, Radha, Krishna, Anya. He is actually non-different from Radha and Krishna. And some may argue, well, that's your Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding. Your Gaudiyas, you kind of put him on that level. But it's very interesting to find that there is predictions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Appearance are found in many Puranas, including the Adi Purana, the Agni Purana, the Bhagavad Purana, of course, Bhavishya Purana, Brahma Purana, Garuda Purana, Kurma Purana, Markandeya Purana, Matsya Purana, Narada Purana, and so on. Many Puranas, they describe the appearance of the Lord in the form as a golden avatar. For example, in the Garuda Purana, Kale Pratma Kale Pratma Sandayat Mam Lakshmi Kanto Bhavishyati Dharu Brahma Samip Staha Sanyasi Gaura Vigraha. In the first part of Kali Yuga, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will appear as Gaura, not even mentioned by the name, Gaura. First he will become the husband of Lakshmi, then he will take sannyas and stay near Lord Jagannath, who is a Supreme Brahman in wooden form. I mean, it's quite specific, right? The name is mentioned, the wife is mentioned, and then he's taking sannyas is mentioned, and he's staying for, most of the time of his life in Jagannath Puri is mentioned. That's our Mahaprabhu. There's no one else, mentioned in the Garuda Purana. Then in the Markandeya Purana, Golokam cha parityaja lokanam trana karnata kaula gauranga rupena lila lavanya vigraha. During Kali Yuga, I shall leave Goloka, Krishna saying, and to save the inhabitants of the material world, I shall become the handsome and playful Lord Gauranga. Again, directly mention the name spoken by Krishna. Then in the Narada Purana we find Divyacha Bhuvi Jayadvam Bhakta Rupina Kola Sankirtanam Arambe Bhavishyami Sachisutaha. O demigods, please advance as devotees on the earth in the age of Kali. I shall appear there as a son of Sachi to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. And then in Padma Purana we find also, I shall appear on this earth in the first part of Kali Yuga in a beautiful place on the bank of the Bhagirati, Ganga. I shall have a golden form and I shall become a son of Sachi. O Narada, I shall appear in the womb of Sachi and I shall save the people who will give up all proper conduct from the terrible darkness of Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga I shall appear, this is from the Vayu Purana, in a place on the bank of the Ganga. I shall be very pure and very merciful, having a golden complexion. I shall be very tall and shall chant the holy names. I mean, more specific is not possible, right? His form is described, his name is described, his activities are described, all directly from Puranic Shastras. So that I found it very inspiring to see how the Lord was predicted, not only in our Bhagavatam, but in many other Puranas as well. So then we know that Bhagavan Krishna had two types of desires, Bahiranga and Antaranga. He had a desire to do something for the satisfaction of others as Bahiranga, external. And that desire, but that desire for something which will give pleasure to one's own self, that desire is called Antaranga, like the internal and external reason. He had a personal desire, he wanted to experience something for him, but also he was concerned about the people and wanted to do something for others. And we know the Bahiranga desire, the external desire, was to deliver the people in age of Kali by spreading the holy name. Kali Yuge Dharma Hoya Hari Sankirtana Etade Arte Avatirina Sri Sachinandana. The religious principles for the age of Kali is the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord. Lord Sri Sachinandan has descended to establish this principle. So what is Sankirtan? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Tapan Mishra in Varanasi, he explained. In the age of Kali, Nam Sankirtan is the Yuga Dharma. In the 4 yugas, there are 4 types of dharma, religious duties, which are meant for the deliverance of the jivas. And we know also Bhagavatam describes this Kriteya Dayato Vishnum and so on, that in Satya people lived 100,000 years, they would meditate. In Treta 10,000 years, they would do Yajna. Dvarapara, they would live 1,000 years and perform Vishnu Archana. And in Kali the lifespan is reduced only to 100 years, if at all. And the only Yajna, or the duty that people should perform, is the Sankirtan Yajna, Nam Yajna. And also there, the chanting of the holy name, also that is confirmed in many, many shastras. Iti sudashakam nanam kali kalamashadash nashanam nata praratanopaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. The Hare Krishna mantra, consisting of 16 names, is especially meant for counteracting the vices of the age of Kali. After searching through all the Vedic literatures, one cannot find a method of religious so sublime as the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So therefore, Krishna appeared as Gauranga Mahaprabhu to teach us this Harinam Sankirtan. And we find in the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we find, of course, many instances how and when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed or encouraged everyone to chant. What was the first way that Mahaprabhu made people chant? Yes, it was full moon, Gaur Purnima. We have Purnima today. But then, it's in Shastra is described, like when when Gaura Chandra appeared, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also compared to a moon because he has such a moon-like face, so beautiful. So when Gaura Chandra appeared, then in the universal forces, they felt like there is no need for a moon with so many black spots. Like the moon is very imperfect compared to Gaura Chandra. So let's cover that moon. So Rahu came and just covered that moon, because the true moon has appeared, as Gaura Chandra. So and then when that Rahu covered that moon, then in Hindu culture or Vedic culture, it's a very inauspicious celebration. Like here in the West, we don't know. I usually tell the story how, as a young, before I came to Krishna consciousness, I was kind of a spiritual seeker, and I was into Goa music, psychedelic trance. And then there was a sun eclipse taking place. I think it was 1999 or so, sun eclipse, and especially in Hungary you could see it nicely. So then there was a huge open air festival. Everyone came together to see that sun eclipse, and we pilgrimed there, and we had the idea this is a very transformative experience. We go there, and then the sun will be covered, and this will bring some transformation to our spiritual life. We had the opposite understanding. We thought this is very auspicious. So we went there, and then with the music, dancing, and all of it was an amazing experience. You're in the middle of the day. And all of a sudden, it becomes night, and for a couple of minutes it's just dark, and then it goes away, and again it's day. It was a very, we call it mystical experience, right? But that's a very ignorant understanding, because the sun is like life. The sun gives life, sun gives light. The sun is representing the divine, and that is covered, meaning it's very inauspicious, right? So in Vedic culture, people understand if the sun or the moon is covered, it's very inauspicious. And then what do people do? In order to protect them from the inauspiciousness, they enter a holy river and they chant the names of Vishnu. So when everyone entered into the river, holy rivers, and everyone chanted Hari, 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 and chanted different names of Krishna and Vishnu, at that time Mahaprabhu took his birth. And with that already, showing or emphasizing, yes, I have come to exactly, encourage that chanting. That's the reason why I came. And described even like Muslims and anyone else, they were. The Hindus were chanting, and the others would kind of joking, let's see how they chant, and they would also chant. In this way, everyone was chanting when the Lord appeared. And what was the next way he made everyone chant? Yes. Like children cry, babies cry all the time. Some are a little more quiet, some are a little more naughty and crying. But he was especially always crying. And then the neighbor's lady came together, and everyone was trying to pacify the small baby. But, only when they started to chant Hare Krishna, then Nima was very, very peaceful and smiling. And as soon as they would stop, like at some point, like I don't know, after half an hour, they would, okay, let's go home. We have some household duties, and they stopped. They wanted to go, and then Nima would immediately start to cry again. They started to sing, and then he was peaceful again. So in this way, even as a baby, he made everyone chant the holy name. And of course, then we know that there was a little different pastime for some period when he manifested his feature of the scholar Nimai Pandit, when he manifested this very great scholarship. But also because why did Mahaprabhu came? Because he wanted to teach by his own example. On Sunday we spoke about this topic, how Krishna came, he taught the Bhagavad Gita, he told Manmana Bhavana Bhakto, always think of me, become my devotee, sarva dharma parityajam, just surrender unto me. But who did it? Krishna went back and he thought, I have given all this teaching in Gita, but who will be able to follow? We are in the age of Kali, intelligence becomes less and their memory becomes less, people are very lazy. How can they take up devotional service just by hearing philosophy? Bhagavad Gita is full of philosophy, but how will it affect people's life? So I have to come myself and I have to, by my own example, I have to teach and preach how one becomes a devotee, how one surrenders. And it's also described in Shastra that in Kali Yuga it's very difficult to find a sadhu, very difficult to find a pure devotee. So the Lord himself came as a devotee to give the perfect example, to show what it means to be a pure devotee of the Lord and what it means to be fully surrendered to Krishna. And therefore, Mahaprabhu gave the perfect example of a devotee. And in this way, also he showed how one has to accept the spiritual master. We see that when Nimai Pandit accepted the Guru, after accepting the Guru, there was a transformation in his heart. He completely changed. I don't know, those who have taken initiation from all of you, whether you have felt the same. One day you were Bhakta or Bhaktin so and so, then you received that mala from Guru and received the spiritual name, and of course you received the holy name, and then there was like a complete transformation. Was it like that? I mean, something is there. I think we all feel that it is it's a powerful experience to become connected with the parampara. There's certainly blessing is there, but in Nimai Pandit's, in Mahaprabhu's example, he was completely transformed. He came back, mad, completely absorbed in ecstasy, always chanting the holy name. He tried to continue teaching, but when he was teaching, it was just always, speaking the names of Krishna, and always, teaching mathematics, but always connected with the names of Krishna, and falling into ecstasy in between. And so he was completely absorbed after he received initiation. And of course, then he started his Nam Sankirtan, started the spreading of the holy name. And that was the external reason why the Lord came. Kali yuge yuge dharma namera prachara tatilagi pittavana chaitanya yavatara. In the age of Kali, the Yuga Dharma is to spread the holy name. For this purpose, the Supreme Lord in a yellow color has descended as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, when he ordered Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur, go to every house and beg in this way, chant the names of Krishna, worship Krishna, follow Krishna's instruction. Apart from this, you should not speak or have others speak anything else. And also, it's interesting, when before Mahaprabhu took sannyas, one day before he took sannyas, when all the devotees came to see Mahaprabhu, he gave them final instructions. Final because, the devotees in Navadvip, they were so desperate upon hearing that Mahaprabhu is taking sannyas, because they knew basically they lose his association. Because sannyas means, socially death, and you don't have that intimate connection maybe, and also you travel and you will be preaching, and for so many years they had their nime at home, and they were associating so much. So then Mahaprabhu, before he took sannyas, he gave this instruction to everyone. Bala Krishna Bacha Krishna Gao Krishna Nama Krishna Vinu Keha Kichu Nabhavita Anam Yati Atma Pratisneya Take Sabakara Tabe Krishna Vyat Vaitrikata Nagabi Kaibe Ara. Can we open the window a little bit just to get some fresh air? Glorify Krishna, worship Krishna, and chant the name of Krishna. Do not think of anything other than Krishna. And then Mahaprabhu says, if you have any affection for me, don't speak about any topics other than Krishna. Do you have some affection for Mahaprabhu? No? Why not? We are Gaudiya Vaishnavas. We are Gauranga's followers, so we should have some affection. But yeah, the problem is we don't have so much. But we should have affection, and then we should follow Mahaprabhu's instruction, which is to don't speak anything else than about Krishna. That means we shouldn't speak any prachalpa, and we should focus on Krishna's glory and spiritual topics. Whether you are sleeping, eating, or waking, day and night, think of Krishna and chant his name. whatever you do, always. I mean, I don't know, eating. Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna. Usually we don't do, right? We have some talk, but here Mahaprabhu says, you should always, while chewing, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama. While sleeping. I mean, while sleeping is a little difficult. Usually that's not under our control. But what is advised is when we lay down, there's different things we can do before we sleep. We can, Prabhupada says, drink hot milk and read Krishna book, right? So by reading Krishna book, by reading something about Krishna, then our mind, cools down from the daily activities. We hear about Krishna, and then hopefully in our sleep we also remember Krishna. And also when we lay down, we can also reflect our day and then kind of try to just end. But then we can also chant. We can lay down and just Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Ideally, fall asleep with the Lord's name on our lips. Fall asleep. Then when we wake up, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. We get hopefully because that's the last thing we heard. Then in the morning, the first thing we remember is also holy name. I mean, it's not that I'm doing that every time, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I try to remember, but that would be actually the standard. No, we should do that. That's how we should do it always. Then this way we always